Hi everyone. I just want to do another little video about trauma bonds and entrainment, and I have a little meditation to share with you that might help you with this. So trauma bonds, a lot of us have trauma and we tend to gravitate towards each other, people with similar trauma resonances, if you like, or vibrations or frequencies, different emotions and stuff like that we would have experienced in our own lives, and we tend to gravitate towards people who actually have similar things going on for them as well, and that's all wonderful. The spiritual reason behind this is that we would actually at some stage get to help each other to grow, but generally I find that that's not the way it works out. We tend to get stuck, and nobody's going anywhere, and it gets real dysfunctional, or maybe one in the partnership will actually say, well, look, now I'm kind of sick of this, I'd like to try something different and get out of this situation, and become a better version of me, and then the other person won't let them, because it puts pressure on them and they feel that they can't, or they don't have the energy, they're stuck in some form of energy or something, or they're just not able to actually grow. And then they don't want the other person to grow, and that causes terrible conflict between couples and families and all sorts of situations, work situations as well, you see it in. So what can you do about it, And then I want to tell you about entrainment as well. Entrainment, it's a natural mechanism within the body to sync us with strong external rhythms. And basically what it does, it's to conserve energy. And this is why we form habits and things like that, because if we had to rethink every different step of everything, it would use up too much energy. So the body has a natural thing called entrainment in it that actually, helps us to learn, use the subconscious mind to do these things, to learn how to breathe every time and to eat, how to digest your food. It would just be exhausting, But in the situation with people, you find some people just drain the life out of you, so you're not entrained with them. But if you were in their company all the time, you would just lose heart, So this is, we entrain with the most dominant, I don't like using the word dominant because it sounds like it's controlling, but it's the strongest energy. If you go into a room full of depressed people and you're not depressed, you're going to come out feeling a bit off, if not depressed yourself, And if you went into a room with a lot of enlightened people, or people who were like really buoyant, or in a party mood or something like that, you might just sort of get the vibe yourself. You didn't train in with that party mood yourself. Mostly, not all the time, but a lot of the time we will entrain in with that most dominant energy, So just another thing about the entrainment part of it as well, we tend to entrain to people's really strong expectations of us as well. Subconsciously, we're not aware of it. So say you went, say you'd moved away from your family or something like that, haven't lived with them in years, and have changed since then, and you went back to visit them, and suddenly you found yourself thinking thoughts like you used to think, or feeling defeated or down in yourself, or you started acting or saying things that you used to say when you were back then with them, but you're not like that now. That's because you've suddenly entrained unconsciously with their expectations of how you were or how you used to be. And we find this a lot with people as well. We will just entrain with what they expect us to be, So when I was growing up, my father expected, well, he used to call me a waster, you know what I mean? He couldn't see any good in me. So, I entrained to that hopeless kind of, sense of lack of self-worth. I couldn't see any good of myself, and I couldn't seem to get up out of that, and it took me a long time to get out of that energy as well, that entrainment, So I entrained into his low expectations of me. So you see this with parents and children as well. If they have conflict and they keep seeing the bad behavior, and what they'll do is they start talking about the bad behavior, and they keep thinking about the bad behavior, well, they're actually reinforcing that low expectation, and that person then can't actually find another way to rise up consciously out of that expectation, So I'll just share a little bit more about that. I'm going to do a brief meditation with you. Another thing to say about trauma bonds and stuff, a lot of us are pointing our fingers at somebody, but when you turn the finger around, there's actually three fingers pointing back at us, so that if you're being triggered by somebody, or if you're noticing something in somebody else, there might just be a resonance in yourself as well that needs to be looked at, And I find, like, sometimes I get, because I'm an empath as well, and I do a lot of energy work, and that sometimes when I, start a new project or something like that, I'm creative as well, I do art as well, when I'm a bit creative and start putting out my creative stuff and that, or you know, I'm a writer as well. I write books, you know. So whatever project I'm on my energy healing work, whatever I'm putting out there, like these videos, sometimes I find that there's energies projected back at me from people who are stuck themselves, you know, and they're sort of maybe not in a place where they can move themselves out of the stuckness, so they can't start their own projects. So I find sometimes you'll get jealousy projected at you, and that's their wounds. That's, you know, I'm triggering, if I'm doing something, I'm triggering something in them. But sometimes that energy gets projected at me rather than the person taking it on themselves and saying, well, look, why am I feeling like this about somebody? Why am I feeling jealous, or, you know, wishing they'd stop doing what they're doing, or would they just stop for a minute and let me kind of have my space? And it's never anything to do with that at all. That's what I found. And I have, to be honest with you, I felt that myself in the past before I was doing the healing work and I became a bit more aware of myself. There were times when people were creating, or they appeared to be very successful or something, and I was stuck, and I hadn't got the energy, or I hadn't got the time, or I hadn't got the money, and I wasn't able to put the effort in myself. And I was at those times feeling those kind of feelings myself. Do you know what I mean? So I do know what it feels like, and it's not nice to be on the other side of the energy either. Do you know what I mean? So I find if you're being triggered, or if you're in what I would call a trauma bond relationship where it's gone a bit dysfunctional and neither of you are able to grow, or one of you want to grow and you can't move on, maybe this little exercise, this little meditation I'm going to share with you might help some of you. So if you want to, if it's safe and you have a bit of space where you're not going to be disturbed, maybe just sit or lie down, close your eyes, take a few slow deep breaths in and out. Just calm it all down there for a moment. And you can use whatever spiritual protection you like. What you suggest, you do use one, but I'll just, for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to suggest you put a white light pyramid around you and your space to keep you safe and protected from interference. And you can ground your energy wherever you want, but I'll suggest for this one just the Omega chakra point, which is 8 inches below the base of your spine. It's an energy, just think of it as a ball of energy, and just ground your energy in there. If you want to, it's a holographic way of grounding. You can ground yourself into the earth if you wish. Some people's energy, depending where you are, you might feel better after grounding into the earth, or you might feel better after grounding into the Omega chakra. Just try it either way and see which works for you, because that's your truth. So whatever works for you, there's so many different truths, and I said that in another video, you know, you find your truth, and that's the one that you, whatever you feel led to, what's most comfortable for you. So just bringing yourself into a nice space. And let's just focus on you for now, because everything begins with you in a way. So I'd like you to think about your qualities. If some of us are very self-abusive, I've been through that route myself. I've got to the point where I love myself now and accept myself. If I see something myself I'd like to change, I work on changing that. So wherever you're at, I'd like you to focus on either a good quality that you'd like to grow or improve upon, or if you don't have it and you'd like to have it, focus on what you would like to develop in yourself. Some nice quality. It could be patience, the ability to listen more, maybe develop more empathy, to be more kind, more understanding, less judgmental, anything like that. Just some nice quality in yourself. Or qualities, if you have a few you'd like to develop. I'd like you just to imagine yourself, how you would interact with people if you had that quality, or if you'd improved upon the quality, or if you were using more of the quality that you already have. How would you like to imagine yourself interacting with people like that, and what would that make you feel like? Would it make you feel like you have a warm glow in the center of your chest? Would it make you feel really, really good about yourself? Peaceful, calm, valued? Just imagining that now. Feeling the feelings you'd like to feel. And when you're comfortable with this, I'd like you to say to yourself, thank you so much for showing me that part of me. And from now on, at every opportunity I get, I'm going to practice this, using this quality more. And when I think about myself, I'm going to think about myself in terms of these qualities that I like and that I want more of. And then I'd like you to think about maybe a person you have a bit of conflict with. Might be a child or a partner, or a spouse, a parent, a work colleague, whoever it is, somebody you're having a bit of conflict with. And I'd like you to think about a nice quality in them that you'd like to see more of. And if in some cases we can't see any qualities, maybe you might know somebody who sees a nice quality in them and you're going, what? I've never seen that in them. I wish they'd show that to me. Maybe you'd focus on what you'd like to be shown. Maybe you need to be seen by them. Maybe you need to be recognised or heard, or maybe you need praise from them. Maybe you just wish they'd say hello. People have a lot of pain going on, so we just don't quite know what's going on with people or why they're showing us the aspects of themselves that they are showing. Sometimes it's a resonance within us that is encouraging them to show. But like if you have worked on yourself and you have better qualities in yourself, and then you are encouraging maybe somebody else to show you. Now this isn't about dark magic or manipulating or controlling or trying to force someone or bribe them or manipulate them into showing us, you know, some aspect of themselves that we think they should be showing us because, you know, this is the way, you know, we expect them to be. It's not like that at all. This is, we're offering them a subconscious choice. People are stuck where they are because they don't feel they can do any better. We're all doing the best we can with what we know and how to do it, but sometimes we're not consciously aware that we could be a bit better version of ourselves, and we get stuck in scripts in our minds. And I was talking about resonances and stuff. It's very complicated in a way. So we can rise out of it, but sometimes we need people's help to help us do this. So what we're doing here is we're raising a person's frequency in our mind. We're visualizing something better for them, and it's up to them to kind of say, well, oh, there, it'll just come into their mind, oh, I could be like this. And if you're nice to them in your mind, sometimes it opens channels for them to be nice back to us. Not always, but sometimes. So they're doing the best they can. They don't know a better way, and if they knew a better way, they would act a better way. But, you know, by doing this mental exercise, you can help them find a better way if they want to reach for it, if they may not want to. So, but just for yourself as well. It's less painful for us if we think in terms of nice things for people as well. So if, as best you can, imagine something nice about them. I always try, if I can't find anything, try and look for the light in them. There's always a light in there somewhere. And if you look at them in your mind and try and find the light in there somewhere. So just focusing on the light if you can't find anything else. And when you're ready, just come back to yourself, finding peace in yourself with all of this, and just taking a deep breath, letting it all go, and just putting the white light pyramid over you again, grounding your energy back into wherever you grounded your energy, and just opening your eyes when you're ready, if you closed your eyes in the first place. And then I want you to remember that, you know, if we're practicing these exercises, it begins to, the integrity must begin with us. We can't be doing this exercise and then the next thing we're on the phone or we're texting or on WhatsApp or whatever, on Facebook or Instagram, talking about people. You know, that's like black magic, gossiping about them, talking about the bad points about them, bitching about them, all that kind of stuff. We can't be doing that and then doing this. You know, that doesn't work. You're cancelling the work out. So, you know, it takes a bit of integrity to do this work. It's like in your mind and in your conversations, they have to be a bit more purer. So if you want the best, if you want people to show you their best, you can't be talking and thinking and projecting negative energies towards them in the silent hours, you know, and then expect to actually get something different from them. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope it helps. I have a couple of other videos I will put up over the next few days and see if it helps as well. Love to hear your feedback on them. If you know, if you start practicing them and you get a bit of experience out of it, what's working for you, what's not working. I have a lot of different things I can share, you know. So anyway, hope you have a blessed day, whatever time of the day you're watching this, and I wish you much love and light, and talk to you again. Take care. Bye now.